through his plays, Shakespeare explores human themes which are truly timeless. Due to his use of early modern English, along with writing for an audience having an Elizabethan worldview, it can be difficult to discern a message which might have value to us in 2021. Consider Macbeth. In this one play, Shakespeare explores the entire gamut of human condition: unbridled ambition, fate, free will, loyalty, perception, deception, manipulation, and guilt, to name a few. However, I want to explore a different idea which I feel has value to us in the modern world. Throughout history, tyrannical regimes oppress their population. Often it takes a single brave person or a small group to say enough and make a stand for the freedom of all. This always comes at a great cost to those who resist oppression. Consider the recent Hong Kong student uprising or the current protests in Myanmar. In every case, the price for the few is tragically high and may include imprisonment, torture, even death, not just their own, but their family and friends as well. What price to end tyranny? In Macbeth, Macduff, the Thane of Fife, is the lens Shakespeare uses to illuminate this question. When we first meet Macduff, he is introduced as a gruff but loyal Thane to King Duncan. It was Macduff who first discovers Duncan's body. Oh horror, horror, horror! And he immediately suspects Macbeth is implicated when he angrily questions why Macbeth deemed is necessary to execute the king's attendants before their interrogation. Wherefore did you so? He concludes that Macbeth's regicide and usurping of the crown will lead to the tyrannical rule, and he chooses to oppose it. He tells Ross that he will not be going to Macbeth's coronation at Scone, instead he will return to his own castle. No, cousin, I'll to Fife. Macduff is written as the brave one, willing to take up the mantle of rebellion, when no others will. Despite that, all the Scottish nobility are aware of Macbeth's tyranny and involvement in Duncan's murder. When told of Macduff's treason, Macbeth flies into a rage and sends assassins to Macduff's castle. Give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. The price of Macduff must pay is high indeed, the death of his family. Shakespeare imbues Macduff with lawful good moral compass. Initially, it is not Macbeth as a person he rails against, but tyranny and moral repugnancy. For example, in England, Prince Malcolm tests Macduff's loyalty by feigning to be a monster even more depraved than Macbeth. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, your maids could not fill up the cistern of my lust. Despite desperately needing Malcolm's help, Macduff's moral code does not falter. He tells Malcolm how disgusted he is. Fit to govern? No, not to live. With Prince Malcolm and the English army in tow, it still requires the brave one, Macduff, the man from his mother's womb, untimely ripped, to complete the witch's prophecy and bring an end to the reign of Macbeth. With the monster slain, some small measure of joy can be seen in Macduff when he addresses the new King Malcolm, who hopes he will be a better king than Macbeth, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland. So, in summary, Shakespeare is telling us today that tyranny should be resisted, that it is usually only the rare few who have the courage to stand against wholesale oppression. Those that do often inspire others, but they are likely to pay a heavy price for their defiance. But in the end, the desired outcome will be worth it.